Hello, hello. Welcome to my stream. I haven't been streaming for a bit. So, I got some news about my latest album, which is performing pretty well on YouTube. That visualizer I made for it, music to stop doom scrolling to, seemed to be the perfect title thumbnail combination because it just got siphoned into the YouTube algorithm, and now it's getting like 5,000 views a day for the past 2 months. So I'm very happy about that. And the test pressings, so the vinyls that I'm making of that album are in production, and these are the test pressings. I got one. Well, I already listened to them all, but I'm gonna play one of them for you tonight. So test pressings are basically, they give you like a 10 records, and you have to listen to them all, make sure there's no problems, basically. Because if there is a problem, you can stop the production process before they make 300. So the records, the test pressings are just put on black vinyl like this. But the actual records are going to be, like you see in that picture up there, like kind of greenish with like a black marbling effect. So this music that you're listening to now is off of the test pressing record. Zoe, yeah, thank you for that. Okay, and so I'm working on save mode. That's what I'm doing today. It's been taking me, I just realized the last episode came out in August of last year. Like, what the hell? But this album really took a lot of my time. I spent like 2.5 months on just the album. And those Neil deGrasse Tyson videos also took me like 2 months, basically. And I've been trying to be healthier about my time and exercise and stuff, so I've been going to the gym more frequently, and animating. I'm still animating and working. Every day I'm working, you know, but it's not necessarily animating. It's all in service of the channel. There's certain things I can't really talk about, but basically, you know, the thing is, every day if I don't draw something, the animation output goes down quite significantly. Yeah. It's not like when I started the channel and I was just in a mad frenzy, but trying to do things sustainably so I don't get burnt out, you know. Anyways, so I'm just gonna draw like a cockpit of a helicopter here, and I got this like reference image, which I'm gonna draw over it. I'm not really tracing on it, but I just wanted like the proportions of things, you know, like the arm, so that I don't have to just spend forever figuring out if the shoulder is the right size and stuff. So I'm probably just gonna do like a loose sketch and then draw over it. So wearing a helmet, probably. I'm probably gonna change how the helmet looks, but yeah. And there's a dashboard here. Probably make it straight, more like, yeah. And then another chair. Something here. And then there's stuff like this, which actually doesn't really matter that much, because I can just, it's just like a line basically. That's probably enough information. So yeah, test pressings have already been approved. In my opinion, they sound great, so. I'm using a different record company this time, so I'm a little bit sketched out about quality and stuff, but I think it's gonna be perfectly good. So, I've been thinking of ways of making my streams a little bit more interesting, and I don't know if you guys, how like creative you guys are, like if you take photography or, like I don't know if this is a good idea, but I had a thought that maybe I could like do like critiques of like photos, or if you're like if you make a painting or whatever. I'm on a stream, I'll put like 30 of them up or something like that, and I'll just go through them one by one and kind of offer my... I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Maybe people would want that. I don't know. Just something that's a little bit different from me just sitting here drawing all day, or reading Applebee's reviews, which, you know, that was fun for a couple days, but you know, I can't do that for any extended period of time. Well, you know, it's weird though, because those Applebee live streams were quite popular. My stats were like, they went right up. But I was like, man, am I gonna be the Applebee review guy? No, man. I'm Umami. So. You know, the thing is though, like, I'm not really like, when it comes to like critiquing shit, I'm like really friggin' hard on people. So I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Okay, how often do you have people reach out to me for commissions? Like, probably every week. And I don't do commissions because I barely have enough time to get my own work done. And, you know, I don't like the thought of having to, like, draw something that someone else wants me to make, you know what I mean? So. Because honestly, I've been having a hard enough time drawing the things that I do want to make, you know? I don't even know what I want to draw half the time, so... And then it's like people's money is involved and stuff, and, you know... It's just, I don't know, it's not worth it for me. Yeah. I think it might be okay if people were like understood that I was gonna. I'm not gonna like tear people's ass like into their ass, whatever. But I'm talking about like, I'm just gonna be my unfiltered opinion about whatever it is, you know? Because I feel like, realistically, if you ask like your family, like, hey, what do you think of this photo I took or whatever, they're never gonna give you like a real opinion. But also, they may not even be giving you good opinions, which is another thing too. I mean, I'm not gonna say my opinions are gonna be great, but I did go to art school. I have some sort of understanding of what looks good and what you know, what's working, what's not. I might be able to give some people some. There was a period of time in my life where I thought I'd get into like video games, like making video games, and Half-Life 2 had this source development kit that came with it called Hammer. It would basically could make the maps like CS maps in 3D. I think it was called Hammer, whatever. I actually got like somewhat proficient in it, so I could actually make maps. And then so I made some maps, and then there was this one guy, I forget, back in the day when people had websites, there was this one guy who had a website where he would, like, you could submit your map to him and he would give you like a critique. I think he was like a map developer or something, or someone who worked in video games, whatever. Anyways, I sent him my map, and then he gave me all this like advice about stuff. And the thing was, he does it in a way that was like kind of like a smart ass, you know? It was kind of rude, but that's what made people want to like listen to the advice he was giving, because it's kind of funny. But a lot of the things he would say was like stuff I wasn't even aware of, you know, like things that I haven't even occurred to me in my head, you know, like, oh, the beam on this part of the building here. Is this music kind of loud? Should I turn the music down just a little bit? It was like made out of the wrong material. Like I'd have like a beam that was made out of wood, but like for something of that size, it should have been made of cement or something, you know, or if you like architecturally look at buildings, they wouldn't be built in this certain way because of the structurally it would be unsound. So like if you were to look at your map, there's just something inherently wrong with it just from the way it is, you know. I can't really, it's been a long time. I'm paraphrasing from like 20 years ago, so sometimes it's like that kind of advice where it's like stuff you weren't even aware, like you weren't even aware of what you were doing, you know. It's like looking up the I'm going on about kerning and shit with like when it comes to graphic design, like telling people what you make sure you're mindful of your kerning, and like most people don't even know what the fuck, they're like, what the fuck is kerning, you know. And for those who don't know, kerning is like the spacing in between the text and that sort of thing. So you can adjust it, you know, like individual letters. So you don't just type things out and then it's done. Like you have to go in and like fine tune these little things. Otherwise it doesn't look good, like from a graphic design point of view, you know. It's like if you're not aware of some of the problems that you're making, how are you going to be able to improve if you're not even aware of what's wrong? You know what I mean? There's always a period, there's always like you can always self-criticize, and I highly encourage people to like be incredibly mindful of looking at past work and trying to think what is working with this or not. But sometimes you just don't even know like where to begin, you know. And the worst thing is finding an artist, you know, or seeing an artist that like might have some potential or skill or whatever, but you look and you see there over the years there's like almost no improvement, you know. It's because they haven't been going back through their old stuff and trying to figure out what's wrong with it, you know, or that sort of thing, or being objective about. I think it's important for artists to change over time, even if it's not for the good, you know. It's just like if you have an artist doing the same thing their entire life, I don't know, it doesn't seem right to me. It doesn't like seem like there should be a change. I can't really explain why, but hey, Tabitha, thank you for that. I appreciate the comment. You ever get commissions that inspire you or give you a level of creative freedom? I've wanted to submit a request for a music video, but just... I mean, here's the thing, man. You can't... Like, I would charge $30,000 for a music video, you know? And so I'm not saying that you don't have $30,000, but, like, That's how much my prices are. Like I don't have the time to do these kind of things. And if someone wanted like a music video, it would literally take me months, you know. So I can't do these commissions. I just know that most people can't afford it, you know. Most of the companies that approach me, I turn them down because they can't afford it, right? I've had 2 video game developers come to me in the past couple months for like a soundtrack, and my price was just too high because I know like it's just my time goes out the window, like, and my time is worth a lot to me these days, so I can't. Commission's just not really something I do anymore, you know. So I actually haven't really been inspired by a commission in quite some time. I mean, the last commission I did hasn't even come out yet, and it's a video for a video game company, and I did it around this time last year. It's about to come out soon, but you know how it is with these corporations, they take forever to approve things, right? So for that I charged quite a significant amount of money, you know, and it just I don't know if people realize how much work goes in animation. And when I was animating like 5 years ago, I was like insane because like I honestly don't think I could do interface again, or in the time period that I did it in, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any, like, it's not good for your mental health. It's unsustainable too. So these days I'm just like, you know, I got enough money, I can pay my bills and stuff. I just want to chill and draw things, but like I'm not going crazy with like overworking myself and all that. Because, you know, once it's the thing is like you realize it's like finished, right? Like interface, it was done, and I'm like, thank God. But then it's like, but now what? You know what I mean? And so there's no rush anymore. I just feel like I did interface. That's the movie I made. I'm really proud of it. But like, whatever I'm doing now it's kind of just like, I don't know. It's like I'm not rushing myself to get it done or putting a huge amount of pressure on myself. You know, the challenging thing I find is providing enough value for the people on Patreon. Because, you know, months could go by and I didn't post anything, whatever. But I think I put out enough music that it makes up for it, though. I mean, my music output has been kind of crazy still. Like an album a year almost, so. And I'm already working on another album. Like I got the test pressings for this one. I already got like 3 tracks for another album, but I don't know how long it's gonna take. So it's probably gonna take a year. Ask Stretchum, do you have any idea when the new vinyls will be shipping out? Yeah, so I just got the test pressings like 2 weeks ago, and they're approved. And then, so that means 4 to 6 weeks from now. So I guess mid-April, March, April, should be around this time next month. I should have the test pressing, the final product. Oh, I gotta flip the record. What was I saying? Yeah. So, you know, there probably won't be any problems with the records, but I've had problems in the past, so I'm not ruling it out entirely, but Umami, any favorite 90s, early 2000s cartoons or anime which inspired you growing up? Not really growing up. I wasn't really ever into anime that much, you know. But some of you guys may know this from, because I mention it sometimes, but there was a film that was coming to Montreal, like a film studio, and they were looking for someone to help on set as a VFX coordinator, and so I applied for the job, and somehow I got it. And I was working with this company in Toronto, and they said, you should check out this director's previous work, right? Because the director made some crazy movies in the past, right? And I was like, okay. And so I watched the movie, and it was Ghost in the Shell. And so the director who made Ghost in the Shell came to Montreal, and I worked on his film. And the film was called Droid Garm Wars or something like that. And the movie wasn't like, I don't think it was like super good or popular or whatever, but it was just cool to work on something that was made by Production IG from Japan. And I wasn't even aware of what Ghost in the Shell was. And honestly, the weird thing is that watching that movie probably inspired me a little bit to making Interface because of the visuals and all the lighting and how the animation was. And maybe Interface would be a little bit different had I not seen that movie. That was back in like 2012 or something like that, yeah. 2013, I think. Moosh. I rewatched Interface last weekend. It's still, yeah, safe mode is still being worked on. I'm working on it right now, actually. This is a drawing for safe mode. It's just taken a while. It's taken, yeah. Hey, Sima, thank you. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, so I need on the screen here. I need like there's like a reason why the screen is so large. It's because there's something on there you want to see. But I'm gonna get lazy and start duplicating boxes and stuff. I'll just draw something. And you know, so last episode of Save Mode had a lot of 3D stuff in it, and it's kind of crazy, the 3D stuff. But I also realized that doing all that 3D was making me unhappy, because rather than drawing something immediately, I was spending like days like figuring out how shaders work, which is like basically connecting dots in math and stuff. And I don't know how much 3D is going to be in the rest of safe mode, so it's going to have like this one episode it's like super crazy 3D set, but then like the rest of it's like hand drawn. I'm still like, even though it's been like 5-6 years, I'm still like just kind of experimenting all the time when it comes to my style. So, and you know, I also started to think, you know, the hand drawn stuff, maybe it's not as like cool or whatever, like, you know, talking masks and shit, but like it's like more satisfying to watch, if that makes any sense. Even if it like looks rougher, like it's just more interesting, visually interesting. For me at least, anyway. I don't know. So I'm just gonna try to do as much hand drawn as possible now, and if I really need the 3D, then I'll do the 3D. But basically, I let my subscription to Autodesk lapse, because The 3D stuff was just, it wasn't like fun and exciting like it was when I first got into it, and I started realizing I don't know, it's like I could do this. I could go and create crazy 3D stuff now. I kind of figured it out, but like I don't want to, you know what I mean? It's like I choose to just have rougher drawings that are hand drawn, you know? What is your favorite character? Maybe Chimney Alfonso. I mean, Mischief obviously too, but I like Chimney Alfonso quite a bit. I like Barry, and I mean, I like all my characters actually. You know, Snare and Lana too. It's just if I were to name the top ones, I guess. This record sounds so clean. Like I don't hear like any surface noise basically. Oh, it might be kind of quiet for you guys now. I don't know. Some of the louder tracks are hard to talk over, that's all. Yeah. I could, you know, I could get more into the 3D stuff. It's just, it doesn't excite me anymore, so I'm moving on, I guess, from that. You know, the thing is before, if I needed to do something in 3D, it would be like, oh god, how do I do this? And I would spend like weeks trying to figure it out. Now if I need something in 3D, it's kind of like, I know how to do this, but should I? And can I just draw it instead? Or, you know, at least if I do decide to, you know, do it in 3D, it's not going to take me that long, because anything that takes more than a couple days for like one shot, I just decide it's too much work, because I was working really inefficiently when it came to that 3D stuff, you know. And not sustainable for a YouTuber, that's for sure. Not sustainable for anybody, if, you know, as a matter of fact, I mean. As much as you know, people like to think as being an artist, it's all, you know, spend as long as possible on a certain piece of media, whatever. There is a certain amount of optimization you have to put into your own work, otherwise your output will be near zero. And I think honestly that's what hurts a lot of artists, especially these days when it comes to the, you know, the output of everything having to be like so frequent, whatever, online. I don't like what I just drew there, so I'm gonna get rid of it. I'll probably move this box. Pixel Builder. I basically don't do any other commercial work right now. Everything I do is for the channel or future projects that are ultimately Umami related right now. So last time, well, I do still do commercial work. Like last month or in December, we filmed some videos for an old client, and so that required a couple weeks of mixing and editing and stuff. It wasn't necessarily that we needed to do the work, it's just that he's like an old client of ours and the work isn't exactly difficult, so, and it was paid pretty well, so.
He wanted to see it for himself. The war machine, brought to his village off the coastline. No longer could he ignore its call, as it called out to him by name. Tomorrow, he'll depart.
It's kind of weird, streaming and hearing my own voice.
He dropped down, placing his knee in a dry patch of grass. He swept his daughter's hair to the side and looked her in the eyes. The sky's not always blue, is it? Seagulls drifted behind him against the current, motionless. Look, he pointed towards the horizon, where the crest of the ocean and sky meet. A pale green haze, a pink mist.
What do you think of Remix? I don't know what that is. What, just give me some context on it, Michael.
Her gaze tracking his hand to the distant beyond.
Aeon flux in the scanner darkly. Yeah, I hear that quite a bit actually.
He scraped the ground with his palm, closing it with a turning
Yeah.
wrist, then opened it to unleash a handful of sand to the breeze that carried it away.
You know, another thing I realized with the 3D stuff is that my 3D stuff would pale in comparison to my 2D stuff, only in the fact that I don't want to, like, there's just, like, people are doing 3D stuff better than I could ever do on YouTube, you know? I see, like, kids are, like, doing stuff in Blender, like, procedurally generated cities and stuff, and they're like, that would take me forever, right? And I can't compete with a 3D anymore, you know? So I'm just like, or ever, so I'm just going to stick to my pixel drawings.
Dissipating before them. The scientific explanation, so rational and clear in his mind. Yet when he answered, he told her, God decided it so.
Drawing studies can be a pain in the ass because of the windows, the buildings and stuff, yeah. Kind of depends on your style, I guess. Ramstein, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. Luke Rupp. Wanted to ask where you got the idea for interface. What was the process? Oh man, don't ask me that shit. I'm sorry, man, but I don't know. I just started drawing one day and it just kind of snowballed. But I can't answer that question because I've been asked it so many times before, and my brain turns to mush. Basically, I just drew shit because I thought it looked cool, and I just started to connect all the pieces together, and that's the short, simple answer. I can't give you a better answer than that, sorry. I can tell you that I wasn't planning it to be a movie though when I started the project, so. No worries, guys. It's just... I think I've been asked that question probably on every single stream I've ever done, so... I just can't do it anymore. I can't do it. LK, this is not a playlist. This is my test pressing of the record I just released, so... It's, you can find it on my channel, just... Go to the second last video I made, and all the links and stuff are there if you're interested in. Kind of like Christopher Walken being asked to do cowbell. I don't think he probably just avoids doing public interviews at this point, just from that. All right, so that's my test pressing. So I'll just turn Spotify on now. Oops. Hey, Umami, I was really interested in your tweet about how the Destiny and Ben Shapiro debate on the Lex Friedman product was very out of touch. Would you be willing to speak more on that? Yeah, I don't think people should be listening to Destiny or Ben Shapiro for political information. I think they're kind of like internet charlatans, you know, and I don't really have strong opinions on certain things like the Palestine and Israel conflict, because I just feel that having any sort of opinion is just fucking stupid. Like, what is there to have an opinion about? That the whole thing is just a nightmare, you know? And, you know, squibbling down, looking at Wikipedia, looking for sources, trying to one-up one another on shit. Like, I just find the whole thing to be profoundly fucking retarded, you know? And guess who's making money off of all this drama? You know, YouTube. And these people who are putting ads on their videos, and the people that are sponsoring the podcast. And it's kind of gross. I mean, in my opinion, I feel like it's kind of fucking gross. Like, you see this shit and they're all having debates like that, like their opinion is going to save anyone's lives. And it's all a big act for ad revenue. And so I don't, you know, like, listen, I don't really follow these guys. I don't know what their opinions are, because, you know, I see the shit pop up on Twitter sometimes and I just can't help but respond. But that's kind of my opinion on it. I'll leave it at that. Demo suite. How do you reply when you meet someone and they ask what kind of animations do you make? Honestly, when I meet people in real life, I don't tell them what I do for a long time. Like, I don't really, I'm kind of like secretive about what because I mean, first of all, my kind of humor is very like abstract, and then I can't really explain, like, I can't like just explain to them what interface is. I can't be like, oh, it's animated movie, whatever, you know. And I don't like talking about myself to people in real life, you know. And so I just kind of avoid it, you know. Usually though, like, if I've been hanging around with someone for a while, I kind of have to tell them what do I do, you know. In which case I just usually send them the Seinfeld video to gauge their reaction. And if it's if they're like it, then I'm like, okay, well, I can show you the rest of the channel. I'm totally okay with you guys asking me questions about the politics and stuff. You know, I'm getting kind of tired of talking about my own artwork. Like, literally anything else. You can talk to me about like roofing tiles or like you know, cedar siding or something, or I don't know, just something I don't even know about. That'd be great. But having opinions about which side of the war is less evil is like I don't know. It's like smashing your brain in with a hammer versus smashing it in with a screwdriver, you know. Rosen guy, I'm still working on my first episode. I've been showing my trailer for 3 years. I use Toon Boom. Oh, okay, we're talking about some animation. That's cool, man. What's your favorite video game, Umami? Well, I love Half-Life 2, but I mean, that's kind of an obvious answer. But, you know, one game that I really enjoyed was Deus Ex. Not the most recent one, but like the second most recent one, called, was it Mankind Divided or something? Or was it the other one? Yeah, I think it was, no, it wasn't that one. It was the other one. Human Revolution. Deus Ex Human Revolution. That was the name of it. Okay, so if you guys haven't played this game, you can probably get it pretty cheap on Steam. It's like, I don't know, probably 15 years old now. But this game was awesome. It's kind of like Half-Life 2, except it has like all these different mods you can put on your body and stuff. But the ending of this game was just so epic. And I don't want to ruin it, but like it was just a crazy, crazy game. Such a cool game too, so you'll probably like it. If you like interface, you'll definitely like this. Deus Ex Human Revolution. The problem I have with video games these days is that they kind of like tell you what to do every single move. And I know you can turn those settings off, but like I find that sometimes I get a game, whatever, I'm like, so I was trying to play this game recently. I was playing this RoboCop game. I bought it like in October, I don't know when, December, because I was bored and it was like Christmas time, right? And I was playing it, and then I was like, man, it's just like telling me where to go. Like everything was like, follow the green arrow, whatever, you know? Or if there's like a clue on the ground, it was highlighted in green. It's like, okay, like, am I like 6 years old, you know? So I decided to go into the options and turn all that shit off, right? Which the game was clearly not designed to have all that shit turned off, because it like becomes almost impossible to find things and figure things out, you know? And in the past, game development used to be, you know, they would like, with Half-Life 2, it was a linear game, so there's only one direction to go. But let's say Human Revolution, whatever, like, it didn't exactly spell out every single step for you, and you could do things in different ways, and there wasn't like, it wasn't just like, I don't know what it is, and maybe I just got older or something, you know, too, but I feel like games these days are like, there's a lot of hand-holding involved, and it just doesn't make it fun. I feel like I'm 6 years old playing a video game now, so until that changes, you know, I don't think I can get back into video games, really. So I did play Death Stranding, actually, yes, and I did quite enjoy that game. You know, but the thing is, the one thing I disliked about the game was the amount of visual bullshit noise on the screen all the time. And every time you drop off a package, you have to go through like 17 different menus to just clear out this stupid shit, like, you know, and it really took me out at a certain point. Like, I was like, okay, whatever, right? But then after a certain point playing the game, I was like, it's getting a little tedious, you know? And it's fine, because as a piece of art, which I feel like Death Stranding leans more towards a piece of art than it does a video game, I think it was quite successful, you know, and I think the music choices, the visuals, and the atmosphere were basically incredible. So, you know, and I know it's kind of like a meme, this Strand type game, which is basically just walking around in difficult ways across landscapes. But I thought it was quite kind of innovative, the way that he was moving across the landscape, and I can whip out ladders and shit and get exoskeletons. Like, it felt kind of like innovative, like new and fresh, kind of like when Half-Life 2 came out and they had the gravity gun. It felt like something new, you know, so that's what's cool about it. Now, they're coming out with Death Stranding 2, and I'm a little bit less excited about it. So, I mean, unless it looks amazing, because I saw the trailer and it kind of just looked like more of the same. So I don't know if I'll get into that, but yeah. There's another game I played called Soma. You guys ever play that? It's Soma. I think it's like the same developer that made Amnesia or whatever, but it's more of it's less about like running away from a monster and more about psychological horror and shit, and underwater. And you're still running away from monsters sometimes, but it's not like the whole game is like that. I played that at my brother-in-law's house, actually. And it was pretty fun. The trailer for Death Stranding 2 looks awesome. I mean, it just, as a movie, it looks incredible, you know? As a movie. I don't know, like, the gameplay, though, unless they completely change things up, I'm not gonna crazy if I'm excited about doing more highway building and that kind of thing, you know? No, the one thing I did thought that was very cool, though, was like, so if you keep driving over certain rocky terrain, like, the road gets more clear and more, so you could like make your own dirt roads and stuff. I thought that was kind of cool. You have to experience the Stanley Parable. Yeah, yeah, that is another game I've been meaning to check out. I just haven't gotten around to it. So I was in the wrong color space. I don't know if it really matters though. Some of the shit I might change the colors of. Yeah, it looks better. Demosphere, do you have much an interest in travel? Yeah, so I do. It's just I don't have a, you know, endless amount of time and money. But last year I did some traveling. I went to Norway for 5 days or so to a friend's wedding, and I went to Iceland for about 2 weeks. A buddy of mine, and that was awesome. That was a fun trip. We were there for 14 days. Even then, I felt kind of rushed a little bit because there's just so much stuff you can see there. A lot of hiking, and the weather was pretty good for the most part. But then they had these volcanic eruptions that happened this year, so I guess we were lucky in the sense that we got to see it before that shit happened. But it's the volcanic eruptions. You know, I don't think they've been fatal, from what I understand. They've disrupted some of their infrastructure, though. I didn't see the aurora because I think I went during a time of year where the sun doesn't set. So I didn't realize this when I got there, but it's so high up in the longitude or whatever, or is it latitude? I forget. But the sun was not setting, so it was all day. It was daylight, and so you had to like black out your windows and go to sleep. I didn't see any eruption of a volcano though, no. None of the volcanoes were active when I was there. Ethan Humphreys. I don't really know why humans react the way that we do towards music, but I think that probably music has been with us for hundreds of thousands of years in some form, and so we've kind of evolved to have it be part of our lives. So I can't really explain to you why. I mean, it's just an appreciation for art. Why is the same way we appreciate anything, really. Everything is just some form of art and just different medium, you know? You know, the permanent day stuff was not... It wasn't as bad as... It's kind of weird to get used to, but I think after like a couple days, you're just like, alright, just close the windows, you know, it's not a big deal. You just wake up and it's like daylight, you know. There's always daylight. I mean, it got like a little bit darker, but it wasn't like significantly darker. Hmm. You ever listen to Arteker? Arteker? I appreciate the suggestion, man. I don't think I recognize the name though. Favorite instruments. Oh, I think someone asked if I'm still doing the drum lessons. No, man, I actually stopped that shit. I stopped it because I appreciate learning the drums because now I know what is involved in the drums, and now I can, when I program my drums, I can use the, I can think about, you know, the hi-hat and shit and the way that it works. And but I was practicing them and I wasn't really enjoying it anymore, you know. Like I feel like I enjoy things because I'm learning, and then once I learn them, I'm not like I less enjoy them. I'm not like, that's the thing about me, is like I don't really like master anything. I get like pretty good at stuff, but then I kind of stop, which is probably detrimental, honestly, because that means I don't really like get like amazing at any one thing. But it's kind of just the way I've always been. So yeah, so I'd stopped playing the drums. I did go practice actually like a week ago, but I just wanted to try something else. I guess, you know, and going there twice a week, once for class and once to practice, it does actually eat up a lot of your time. So last year I stopped around last year, and I was doing a lot of traveling and stuff, and now I'm going to the gym twice a week and trying to get as in shape as possible, because you know, when I finished interface and stuff, I had like sciatic nerve pain and shit, and I wasn't stretching properly, and just sitting in a chair. You know, you like this meme about animators having like shit bodies and stuff because they just sit and animate all day? Well, I don't want to like turn into that, so I've been going quite frequently. Too mellow for drums, yeah, probably. It's just, I don't know. The thing with the drums is like, it's a very immediate. Like I don't have to think about the notes. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's toms and stuff, but I'm not like with the keyboard. Like I'm not really that good with the keyboard either. Like, you know, figuring out major fifths and minor sevenths and all that. But anyway, but it's like with the drums, it's just more like you just hit it, you know. You can hit the drums different ways. Like you can do like a rim shot or whatever, you know. There's different, like you can do a flam, whatever. At least I know what those words mean, you know what I mean? Like the thing is, before, like I honestly, when I started the drum lessons, I didn't know what a snare was, so that's how bad my knowledge of drums was. Yeah, physically hitting the drums is fun. Yeah, I mean, especially once you like get somewhat proficient at it, so you don't feel like a robot, you know. I got to a point where I was feeling less like a robot, and then I kind of stopped. But I mean, I could go back and pick it up again. You know, there's nothing to stop me from getting back into the drums. But like when it comes to music and stuff, I think I'm more interested in like composing rather than being the musician. So which kind of sucks because, you know, I can't really perform live, you know? But that's how it is, so. Maybe I'm a nerd, but I prefer to download a drum break, chop it up, and change the sonic texture of it. Yeah, man. I mean, there's no rules with this kind of stuff. You can do whatever you want. Like, I like to do that sometimes too. Sometimes it's just fun to play around, chopping up drum beats and stuff. I guess this is like a ear pad area so the ears don't get squashed. Probably the radio comes in through this too. I don't know where the back of the neck is supposed to be. Right there, maybe? By the way, is my stream like choppy to you guys? You let me know if it's choppy. I've been changing some of the settings because it's just been shit recently. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Okay. Damn. Got worse once Spotify turned on. Really? Not choppy, not choppy. Okay. Well, I'm gonna buy myself a Cat 5 cable and plug it into the thing so it's not going through the Wi-Fi. I'm just, it's the router's in the other room, so I don't have a cable. I'll do it on the next stream, maybe. if civilization was just beginning off on Mars and they were taking passengers, would you go? No, man, I would not go. I would go 300 years after Mars started becoming a society. If I was alive. No, I wouldn't go and no. I know it's okay. I'll let them figure that shit out. You know, it's like saying, would you go to the New World in the year 1500? Well, you could, and it's just going to be incredibly difficult. You know, you might have some nice piece of land, but then you also might get your head chopped off by someone who was not so happy that you took that land, or you know. And if it wasn't you might get blasted with a cannonball, you know. But the thing, it would be harder because you would be in Mars, and so you wouldn't have a big piece of land. You would have a pod, and that pod would be controlled by a corporation. So it's not like, I don't think it's comparable really. It's actually probably way worse. So unless there was like some incredible benefit to going to Mars, other than, you know, it being a novel place to go to, and I would rather stay on Earth until that shit gets figured out, which would probably take about 300 years. So I wouldn't go, no. You wouldn't have space guns. I'm telling you, because you try to shoot with a space gun, you're gonna hit the glass dome, and suddenly you don't have any oxygen. You seriously, what would happen is you'd go to Mars. It'd be fun for like the first month, and then you'd be like, oh, fuck. And then there'd be like food shortages, and like basically you'd be stuck inside watching movies all day, and there wouldn't be that many people out there. There'd be like 17 people in your vicinity, you know. And it's okay. I need more detail down here, I think. Gonna be his knee. It says knee right there. I don't know if I like this that much. The lighting seems so flat to me. I might do something crazier. Well, I know what I'll do. I'll make that... Yeah, that will be dark. This could just be black. And that's the one thing, don't be afraid of just using solid black sometimes. Especially when it comes to, like, that's how I feel. I don't like that. Oh Jesus! Did I just fuck up? What's going on? What's this? Anti-aliasing is turned on. That's a mistake. Oh no. I didn't make that mistake anywhere else. I think I'm okay. Jesus. The texture and stuff, I might add emitter. I might add in After Effects. Some of the animated texture I do, it's all done in After Effects because it just saves me a lot of time. Okay, well this is, you know, whatever this is. It's going to be a seat behind him, so. This is how quickly I used to draw things, you know, I just kind of rough things in, and I used to be like, that's finished, and then I, for some reason, decided to overdo everything. And it really doesn't make that much difference. I mean, my drawings look cleaner and stuff, but does it help you tell a better story? I don't know. But basically, these guys are on a separate layer. The camera's just going to be like panning, tilting, panning just a little bit so you can reveal some of this shit over here, probably. It just makes the whole image composition come like seem a little more like depth and stuff, you know. I might put this on a separate layer though, this one on. Devi? Let me see if I can scroll up. I don't know, you mentioned not knowing where the neck is supposed to go, but a number of scenes in her face. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't always use references. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, the guy's neck looks fine. And honestly, and here's the thing, like, there's gonna be like dark clouds and shit, and you may not even notice this, where the back of his neck is if the final thing is finished, so I'll probably just adjust it a bit though. That looks a little bit better to me. I don't know. Would you ever do a contest again? I'm having such a hard time looking at my computer screen these days that I don't know. Like, I don't want to organize one, and I know the mods in my Discord, I love them, but I haven't not checked my Discord in months. I can't get in there. It's like I just have no interest in chat rooms and stuff and text. I can't look at stuff. I can barely look at my own shit now, so I don't know. I'm trying to focus on my art, and that's it primarily, and that's it. No, I should probably go back in there because there might be subtitles and shit that people added. I just gotta. Yeah, sorry. In regards to Debbie's remark, do you just use art as a vehicle to tell your stories without regard of how correct things look? Like, I mean, it's like, it has to look correct enough, you know? And the thing is, like, it doesn't have to look correct, but it has to look purposely incorrect, if that makes sense. Like, it can look like a poorly drawn image, but it has to look intentionally poor, and not like intentionally to the point where it becomes contrived, but like it has to like there has to be some sort of stylistic cohesion to it so that it doesn't seem like it was a mistake, you know what I mean? Or that you're just not like skilled in this area. I mean, there's animators I love that their style is so out there that it really doesn't matter if the proportions are correct or not. And of course they can still tell a good story without incorrect proportions, because the thing is, it doesn't matter. You don't need to have good proportions. And if anything, focusing on stuff like good proportions is probably detrimental for you telling a good story, especially when it comes to animation, because you're not supposed to be recreating life. You're supposed to be creating some sort of an abstraction of it, you know, it's like a version of it. So just ask yourself, you know, is this getting in the way of me telling a good story? And that could be poor drawing skills, or and if it's but you can still have poor drawing skills and have it be good for the story that you're trying to tell, or good for the mood or atmosphere you're trying to set. So there's certain shots that I've drawn where I spent some time on it and I just feel like it wasn't helping my story, or it just didn't have the right mood, you know. So obsessing over anatomy takes up time, yeah, of course, but that's not the point though. It's not a matter of time. Like, I could get the anatomy correct, you know, but like, is that like having the perfect anatomy is not going to help you gain more followers, or it's not even necessarily, it doesn't even make your art better, to be quite honest. You know, it's unless you're doing academic paintings, you know, oil paintings, or like very academic realistic drawings, that kind of stuff, like, it doesn't matter. Like, I mean, like, look at Francis Bacon paintings, or Egon Schiele, certain things matter, like the proportion of the eyes, you know, like making sure that things don't look off in wrong ways. But it's especially when it comes to like YouTube animation, that stuff does not matter. I mean, look at the top YouTube animators. They literally, their character is just a guy like this. This is like 90% of the top YouTube animation channel, which is kind of, it pisses me off a little bit, I mean, honestly, but that's how it is. I like how with all these characters, all these like top like storytime people, like they make plushies, and their plushie is like this guy. And then they all do the same thing. It's all like this guy, like they're all, it's with the thumb up. It's like, and it's like white and stuff. I mean, I just find that funny. They're all like the same character basically. Did you go to art school? Yeah, I did, man. I went to NASCAR University in Halifax, which is an art school, which was fun, and I wish I took more painting classes. They made me take so many fucking history classes, like for my major and stuff, but whatever. I actually quite enjoyed the painting classes there. Okay, so I got this and that, and oh great, I put some stuff on the wrong layer. Okay, it doesn't really matter. Probably put another pilot, maybe. And have his earphone sticking out. You know, I'm telling you guys that with anatomy and stuff, you know, people make jokes about AI and the fingers not being correct. That shit's gonna be fixed in a couple. It's already fixed. If you're gonna compete with AI, doing proper anatomy. I mean, it's good to know this stuff, right? It's good to know how to draw things properly. It's good to have great proportions. So if you can do it, it's good to have the skills that you can do these things. But I'm telling you, you're going to have to differentiate yourself some way from this AI, and having good anatomy and stuff, it's not like you have to have, like, you can like literally draw the most fucked up anatomy and it would probably do better than if you did something with like perfect anatomy, because people want stuff that's fresh and new and weird and different looking. There's this one guy on Twitter that draws like gaming consoles, but he draws them all fucked up and the proportions are all like inside out and stuff, and I can't really, I wish I could like look I don't know the guy's name. I would like show you right now, but his like, people love that stuff because it's like so wrong that it like it inverts on itself and it becomes extremely good. Like I don't know. The thing is, if you're gonna become a serious artist, I feel like now, especially with AI and stuff, you have to do stuff that, well, obviously if you did something new and fresh, they can just plug your images into the AI and train the data on it and stuff. But in my opinion, I think like you should be creating more physical art. So like actual paintings and stuff, if you're getting like just pure art, not just animation stuff. So you have physical versions of the artwork that you're creating so that you can, so that's a tangible thing that you can sell, you know. And also AI currently, I mean, there's like people doing this AI art where like a 3D printer will basically print out the artwork and stuff, but that's always going to be kind of niche in my opinion. It's not going to get, maybe it might get super good in the future, right? But for now, the advantage is traditional artists have a little bit of an advantage because there's like texture and dimension and pigments and like all these different things that go into real paintings, right? That AI is not able to currently compete with. So, and you know, like, how do you like tell, like, you putting a prompt on like AI or whatever and say, I want a drawing of a man, you know, I want a portrait of this in the style of, you know, whatever, this and that. It's gonna most likely give you someone who has like correct proportions, because they're training these algorithms to be, they're training the artwork to come out of it to be what your average tech bro thinks good art is, which is everything being perfect proportions and everything being perfect. But in the end, I'm telling you, that's not the stuff that's gonna be like, that's not the stuff that's gonna appeal to or speak to people. You should definitely learn anatomy though. I'm not saying don't learn anatomy. I'm just saying it's not as important as you think. think this might just be able to be just pure black. Even the neck. Yeah, because it's to the side. It's not even the point of the focus. Maybe just put a... You know, the funny thing I find with this AI is the thing that people are freaking out about the most is like the artwork and the music and that kind of the creative things with AI, right? But there's a lot of positive things that are going to come out of the AI that aren't just that aren't like artists' careers being supplanted or whatever. It's just unfortunate that these tech companies are focusing on replacing creative people immediately when they should be focusing on like how to reduce the supply chain of like the food, or that, you know, make sure there's less you know, boats getting stuck in canals and stuff, and like food rotting away in ports, or like cars being stolen and shipped away at the docks and stuff. Like, there's gonna be, so, you know, good things that come out of it too. Then there's also gonna be this fucked up stuff, you know. It's just that everyone's focusing on the mid-journey and like paintings, like artwork, and it's like there's so much more that people would be talking about that they're not even. They're not, you know, artists in particular are very egocentric. Obviously, you know, I could say that speaking for myself, and so they focus on the thing that affects them the most, which is their already difficult and perilous, I guess, or rocky career choice. I mean, being an artist is friggin' hard, man. Like, so something coming out to disrupt it, and suddenly it becomes like topic #1 for the entire year. And I don't think people are going to stop talking about this for a while. AI is going to keep revolutionizing things for the next decade, probably. Okay, I need to add something else. Sometimes it helps to zoom out. Right. I gotta tell you guys, the one thing that that drives me insane though is the whole anti-AI artist movement. It's like these artists can't bring enough attention to themselves through their own art, so they have to latch onto this fucking thing, like as if that's gonna like, that's like, oh, people are gonna get on my side and suddenly they're gonna buy my paintings. That's not gonna happen. It's not gonna make your art interesting. Focus on making your art interesting. Then you won't have this issue, this perceived issue that you have. I get so much fucking flack with that shit. I don't even comment on it anymore because it's just like, what's the point, you know? Okay, I think I'm about done for tonight, guys. I'm looking at my helicopter's mostly drawn here. So on these screens, I'm gonna have some visuals I'll have to do in After Effects probably. Yeah. I'll finish this shots probably tomorrow or whatever. Emitter. Hey, well, thanks everyone. Yeah, I appreciate you guys popping in and saying hello again. I hope I didn't ramble too much. That's it for tonight. Still got a lot of work to do on this episode, even though it's been so long. Yeah. All right, everyone. Take care. Have a good weekend. All right. Try to get outdoors if it's nice and warm out, because it's starting to warm up here in Montreal too. So take care. Bye bye.